Dear friends, starting from today, we will officially embark on a systematic and profound journey of learning non-dual philosophy. Perhaps you have heard me mention non-duality in my videos and talk about resonance, many in one, one and many, etc. But from today onwards, we will not just touch upon these concepts in fragments, but rather step by step delve into their core, establishing a complete worldview and philosophy of life. A few days ago, I finally completed writing the entire content of this course. It was not an easy task, but it was a journey that I deeply cherish. This course encapsulates my years of in-depth exploration of India philosophy, Eastern and Western spiritual traditions, as well as various philosophical systems and scientific knowledge. It is not just a gathering of knowledge, but also an expression of a spiritual standpoint. Throughout the writing process, I have strived to base this course on 以善为本. This is a Chinese phrase means based on kindness, and 不忘初心. This is another phrase means without forgetting the original spirit. So, many of the concepts and understanding in this course may diverge from some traditions I have delved into in the past, and many are ones I'm willing to continue inheriting. But what I want to say is, I am grateful for those traditions, thankful for the inspiration and vast knowledge they have provided me at different stages of my life. It is their wisdom that forms the cornerstone of my thinking, questioning, inheritance, and transcendence. So today, I want to solemnly express my deep respect to all sincere spiritual and religious traditions that are based on goodness, 以善为本, and did not forget their original intentions, 不忘初心. Whether they come from the East or the West, from temples or grasslands, as long as they point towards a more loving life, a more resonant world, I am willing to walk alongside them. Even if our paths diverge, our directions always remain connected. Our course is rooted in the philosophy of relational non-duality, comprehensively integrating Eastern and Western wisdom, modern science, and real-life experiences, divided into 3 progressive parts. The first part is understanding the One. We will explore the wholeness of existence, break the dichotomy between material and spiritual, integrate cutting-edge science with ancient spirituality. From cosmology, quantum physics, to the wisdom of Hinduism and Daoism, Buddhism, helping us reconstruct our understanding of existence. From this part of learning, we will gain transcendence of dualistic thinking, cultivation of holistic and inclusive thinking, elimination of feeling of void, indifference, and fragmentation, natural emergence of empathy and love through understanding the One, and realization of the joy and meaning of life. And the second part is understanding the many. In this part, we will delve into the essence of free will, differentiate between instinct and awareness, learn how to effectively control our own minds, bodies, emotions, and choices without escaping from the world. From this part of the learning, we will gain complete mastering of free will, overcoming emotional disturbance such as anxiety, anger, and addiction, establishing a stable, clear, and empowered inner state, providing a practice path without the need to transcend the world. And the last part is understanding the relationship between the One and many, In this part, we will apply the philosophy of relational non-duality to the practical world, analyzing structural conflicts in current world affairs from politics, economics, technology to ecological ethics, and proposing rich viable solutions towards a symbiotic civilization. From this part of the learning, we will gain achieving genuine harmony between humans and nature, providing humanity with a continuous sense of happiness, security, and inner fulfillment through the dissemination of the ideas of love and goodness, resolving conflicts, guiding peace, and co-creating a harmonious, dignified, and future-oriented world. Therefore, the outcomes of our learning can be summarized as finding a place of settlement in the universe, clarity and strength within oneself, resonance with the world. The inspiration for this course has a profound source. It is the famous three sufferings theory in Buddhism. We can see the ancient categorization of the sources of suffering. 1. Suffering due to external factors, which means those suffering arising from the natural environment and uncontrollable external forces, such as natural disasters, environmental degradation. 2. Suffering due to others, which means suffering arising from conflicts, misunderstandings, betrayals, and wars in social relationships. 3. Suffering due to oneself, which means suffering arising from eternal unrest, desires, attachments, fears, anger, and uncontrolled emotions. Traditional religious philosophy often focuses on how to transcend this suffering by detaching desires, practicing, and distancing oneself from the world. But my line of thinking is somewhat different. I ask, what if we do not escape but delve deep into the structure of the sufferings? Can we find a reverse way of thinking to resolve them? If we do not view suffering as an inevitable punishment of fate, but as a signal of relational discord, can we find possibilities for reharmonization, for a new resonance? Thus, I attempt to reframe the three types of suffering from the perspective of the philosophy of non-duality in relationships. In this angle, the first suffering is disruption in the relationship between human and nature. The second suffering is distortion in the relationship between humans and oneself. The third suffering is rupture in the relationship between humans and others. By repairing these ruptures in relationships, we can return to happiness and harmony. This is based on the fundamental standpoint of relational non-duality. The world is not a trap you must escape from, but a field where you can participate, resonate, and reconstruct. Suffering is not punishment, but a call for you to respond. Happiness is not a victory over the world, but a reconciliation with the world. So when we ask ourselves, why learn about non-duality? The answer is not to win an abstract philosophical debate or to master a set of obscure theories. We study non-duality to attain happiness. However, the happiness here is not about possessing external things, nor it is about achievements in the eyes of others, and certainly not about fleeting pleasures. The essence of happiness is not something one person can seize as a possession, but rather a structural harmony and resonance. when I resonates harmoniously with the universe, when I resonates harmoniously with the self, when I coexist harmoniously with other people, happiness naturally emerges. It is not a form of external reward, but an unfolding of relationships, a synchronization and resonance existing on different levels. This happiness encompasses three progressive dimensions. 1. Harmony and resonance between humans and nature, universe. This is the first level of happiness. If a person is disconnected from the universe, they will fall into profound emptiness. Life will seem accidental, isolated, and the universe become indifferent and meaningless. Conversely, when a person realizes they are an integral part of the universe, they will feel a profound serenity. In this section, besides studying the philosophy of non-duality, we will also delve into science, cosmology, physics, and biology. Cosmology tells us that humans are the result of billions of years of stellar evolution. Physics reminds us that energy is neither created nor destroyed, and our life is fundamentally connected to the universe. Biology shows us the genetic codes and symbiotic networks we shared with all life. Non-duality integrates this knowledge into a revelation. You are not a mere observer of the universe. You are a manifestation of the universe itself. When you gaze at the stars, observe nature, and feel the circle of life, you will discover your existence resonating in harmony with the entire universe. This resonance is the first aspect of happiness. 2. Harmony and resonance between humans and the self. If a person cannot reconcile with the self, even with vast knowledge of the universe, they will struggle to find peace. The second level of happiness is the harmony between humans and the self. In this section, in addition to non-duality, we will explore psychology, evolutionary studies, meditation, and practices. Psychology helps us understand the power of emotions and the subconsciousness. Evolutionary studies informs us that emotions like anger, fear, and jealousy are ancient instinctual legacies. Meditation and practices teach us how to use mindfulness to distinguish between the snake and the rope, freeing ourselves from the control of ignorant fears. The wisdom of non-duality tells us the self is not an isolated, unchanging entity, but a relational tension. True happiness comes from harmonizing this tension, not from suppression or indulgence. When a person can both consciously recognize the multiple facets of the self and maintain balance and transparency within, they will experience inner peace. This inner resonance is the second aspect of happiness. 3. Harmony and coexistence between humans and others, society, nature. The highest level of happiness involves not only the universe and the self, but also the harmony and coexistence between humans and others, society, and nature. If society is deeply divided, if hostility and hatred fill human interactions, then even if individuals find temporary peace, this happiness will be short-lived. Humans are never isolated islands. Societal structures and ecological environments eventually impact every individual's life. In this section, we will further explore sociology, politics, economics, ecology. Sociology helps us understand the interdependence of individual and collective happiness. Politics warns us that zero-sum thinking and dualistic opposition only leads to endless conflicts. Economics reveals importance of resource allocation, cooperation, and sustainable development. Ecology reminds us that human and nature are not in a master-slave relationship, but partners. Non-duality exerts its most profound power here. It allows us to transcend oppositions and enter into symbiosis. It is not about I win, you lose, but I'm will, you are will, the world is will. Happiness at this level becomes a social and cosmic fulfillment. This coexistence is the third and highest aspect of happiness. Therefore, learning about non-duality is ultimately not about abstract concepts, but about attaining genuine happiness. Harmony between humans and the universe gives us meaning and awe. Harmony between humans and the self gives us tranquility and strength. Harmony between humans and others gives us completeness of happy life. I invite you to join me to make happiness a collaborative endeavor, not a personal escape, to experience others' joy and respond to their pain. Let our happiness be warm, resonant, and empowering. If you enjoy this channel, please support and subscribe. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I will do my best to respond promptly. Thank you for accompanying me. Let's move forward together.